Kentucky Congressman and House Oversight Committee Ranking Member James Comer joins us now. Congressman, how can Anthony Fauci just perjure himself like that and just walk home?
Well, we're going to do everything we can to hold him accountable. The key was doing all the research, getting the emails, working with the whistleblowers, getting the facts straight, and then giving Dr. Fauci an opportunity in a public setting under oath to give his version of the story. And Jesse, it looks like he lied several times, especially when he tried to twist the definition of what gain-of-function research is, and he threw everyone under the bus. We've produced emails that showed all of his circle of advisors were bragging about how they could avoid FOIA, how they could avoid transparency by deleting emails, by not putting anything in emails. And what Dr. Fauci said today was, oh, I never talked to my personal assistant. He didn't have access to me. I don't know. He's on his own.
My personal
I didn't,
assistant.
Yeah, it wasn't me. It was the CDC that said you had to be 6 feet apart. I mean, it was offensive what Dr. Fauci said today, and I'm glad the American people got to see the mad scientist and all the damage he's done to our society.
When you lie to Congress, Congress can make a recommendation to the Justice Department to make an arrest. Obviously, that's not going to happen under the Biden administration, but if Trump is reelected, will you guys be making a recommendation to the Trump Justice Department to arrest Anthony Fauci for perjury?
Well, it sure looks like that's a strong possibility. I mean, I would do that, and I think that we're going to have to get together as a committee. We're going to go back. Obviously, we've got the transcript. We're going to go line by line through every answer he gave, especially when he's throwing all of his assistants under the bus. And I want to bring some of those people back in. We've already heard testimony from Dr. Moran, and now we heard testimony today from Dr. Fauci saying, oh, I didn't have anything to do with it. It wasn't me. It was all him. Well, let's bring Dr. Moran back in and see if he has any more recollection of how things really occurred. If Dr. Fauci is going to throw everyone else under the bus, then that may change their tune as to how they do their answers. Look, we know they use taxpayer dollars to fund gain-of-function research. Dr. Fauci can try to give some slick answer to change the definition, but they knew what was going on, and the evidence we produced showed they destroyed evidence. They destroyed emails. They did everything they could to coordinate with Facebook. Dr. Fauci mentioned Facebook in that clip you should, to try to censor any dissenting views, any conservatives that dare question the great Dr. Fauci and his great scientific mind. Today, he had a totally different tune, but he still showed no remorse and tried to blame everyone else for the mistakes he made.
Yeah, and it's funny that every investigation you do, Congressman, the CIA pops up. You have the whistleblowers say, oh, the CIA told the prosecutors, don't touch the sugar brother. And now we're hearing that Fauci was meeting with the Central Intelligence Agency during the pandemic. And now he kind of is vague about whether he did or he didn't. What's going on there?
I asked him specifically how often he met with the intelligence community, and he never would give a definitive answer. Look, I asked Peter Daszak, the CEO of EcoHealth Alliance, the same exact question, because Peter Daszak checks all the boxes of what our intelligence community uses as informants. And if Peter Daszak was an informant for our intelligence community, that means our intelligence community knew before the COVID outbreak what was going on in that Wuhan lab. And everyone worked together under Dr. Fauci and the ones who knew in the intelligence community to cover this up, to say anyone that would suggest the lab leak theory was plausible was a right-wing conspiracy theorist. And we heard today when Jim Jordan asked the question, Dr. Fauci said, oh, I'm open. It could very well have been a lab leak, but it didn't come from the money that we sent over there. That was Dr. Fauci's answer. Yeah, it could have been a lab leak, but not from the tax dollars that we used. It went towards something else. That's complete baloney. I think the American people see through it. And people are mad and want Dr. Fauci to be held accountable.
Yeah, well, that jives with what the whistleblower told us, was that Daszak was being used by Big Intel to use the Wuhan lab as a backdoor to spy, as a cutout on the Defense Department in China. So we'll see. We'll see if we can get some answers. Maybe we'll get some movement one of these days. Congressman Comer, thanks as always for your good investigations.
Thank you.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.